Hey guys, Gashat here with another review. This time I'll be reviewing the Deluxe Dangerous Zombie Gashat and Bugster Buckle from Kamen X-Aid. This is a rare Gashat and belt that, when combined with the Gashat Bug Visor, allows Kamen Genmu to transform into his level 10 form. This set includes a few things: one rare Gashat, a belt, and a set of belt straps. So, let's get started. First up, we'll look at the Dangerous Zombie Gashat. So, for this Gashat, the front casing is cast in metallic white, and for the top insertion part, you can see that the pattern of the covered parts is quite different from any previous Gashat, not following the typical pattern, instead being rather segmented and very jagged. And that goes along with what the image depicted on the backside is. For the cover art, you can see the title of Dangerous Zombie down here, and then it depicts a kind of cybernetic looking zombie hunter surrounded by a bunch of zombies in the background. Got the title in English on the side, activation switch on the back, got the battery compartment, speaker down here, and QR code on the back as well. So, as always, this Gashat has 3 sounds on a 2-pattern cycle. First push the button gets you the name activation. And second press either randomly gets you the game clear or game over sound. So there's game over. And there's game clear. Next, if we flip it over to the back, you can see the image on the back. Which depicts Kamen Genmu's level 10 form surrounded by lightning, and you also see that it doesn't have the name of the game anywhere on it. Next up, we have the Bugster Buckle. This is a simple black belt buckle initially worn by the Graphite Bugster until he was defeated, which was then later used by Kamen Genmu to obtain his level 10 form. As you see, it's just this simple, pretty small and thin plastic buckle with some nice details, as well as 2 raised bars, which will hit both of the buttons on the back of the Gashat Bug Visor. You can see a couple pieces on the side that resemble the belt clips from the gamer driver, and on the back you can see some details as well as a couple of loops. Next we have the belt straps themselves, which you'll notice are quite different from typical rare belt straps, and that's because they are. If we compare them with the straps to the gamer driver, you can see that they're not only thinner, but they also have no belt clips, nor a proper back stopper piece, instead using these 2 silver bands that just go around the belt straps. So, to put these on the belt, or to put them on the buckle, is a different process than your typical rare henshin belt. First we'll take this piece. You want to make sure that the L is facing this way, and slide it through this loop until this part comes out like here. Then take the other one, slip it through so that the R goes in the center, and then clip it together like so. Then you want to slide on the 2 silver bands. One on each side. Then come around to the back, set them in place. And move these in so that they help hold the belt straps in place. And there you have the completed Bugster Buckle. Now, one thing that's interesting about these is that This isn't a unfamiliar design, or at least it's not a completely new design for belts made by Bandai. Instead, they actually used belt straps that are based off the ones used for Sentai belt buckles. As these, however, what is different is that in this case they use just 2 belt pieces instead of the typical 3, where for Sentai belts, typically they'd have the 3rd piece actually attached to the buckle, and then the other 2 pieces would be attached to it. Now, this is probably my biggest point of contention with this, because what this means is that this becomes a bit more difficult for adult collectors to wear than your typical rider belt, because while for most Deluxe tension belts, they have released compatible belt extenders, Bandai's never released any kind of belt extenders for Sentai belts, and unfortunately, because of the way these are designed, you can't actually use the Sentai belt straps as extenders, because the spacing between the holes for the belt loops and the connector loops are actually different sizes, meaning they won't properly fit with the Bugster buckle. But as you can see, it just creates this pretty simple belt piece. So, bringing in the Gashat Bug Visor, we can put these 3 pieces together to activate the transformation for Kamen Rider Genmu level 10. So, first we want to take the Bug Visor and attach it to the 2 pegs here. We'll snap in place, and then activate a standby phase. Then activate the Gashat. Flip it around, and insert it into the Gashat slot here. Then push the activation button. And there we have the transformation for Kamen Rider Genmu Zombie Gamer level 10. As you can see, the way it worked is that it used 2 different images to depict a kind of animation of a shambling zombie. I'll show you that one more time. Then the 2 images combine, like so. Now from here, we can activate a couple of special attacks. So start, we'll press both the A and B buttons at the same time. Activate the standby phase, then press either A or B. Then you can do that again. Press B this time. And so they'll activate either the critical end attack or the critical dead attack. And just for a size comparison, here is next to the Deluxe Gamer Driver. As you see, they're around the same size, but obviously the Gamer Driver is a lot bulkier and a lot thicker because of the way it has the Gashats inserted and how it has this mirror system inside. And so to release the Gashat, all you need to do is press and hold this button, pull it out. Then to release the Gashat Bug Visor, press down both of the release buttons on the bottom and pull it off. And of course, we can also use the Dangerous Zombie Gashat with the Gamer Driver, so let's test that out. First, we'll insert it into slot 1 for the level 1 transformation. Then we'll open it up for the level 2 transformation. Then we'll close back up. Put it in slot 2. And then again for an alternate level 10 transformation. And as you'll notice, it only uses the white light, meaning the only way you can actually get that hidden red light out of it is when using it with the Buggle Driver, which is what the combination of the Gashat Bug Visor and Bugster Buckle is called. We can also use it in combination with other Gashats, so I'll bring in Pro Maniac next and put that in slot 1. And so I guess this would create a hypothetical zombie action gamer level 10. And finally we can test out the 2 Kimewaza attack sounds for this Gashat. First we'll use the slot holder to get the critical strike. Then we'll use the Gashat Breaker for the critical finish. Of course, Kaishin no Ipatsu will activate at random like the other Gashats. And an interesting note is that the critical finish sound is also the same attack sound as the critical dead from the Buggle Driver. And there we go. Overall, this is a pretty cool set, if only for the fact that it lets you properly make use of the hidden functions of the Gashat Bug Visor. The Dangerous Zombie Gashat is pretty neat, but it's really just meant to be used with this. Though it can still be used with the other items, it really does work best with this. And really, that can also be kind of said as a kind of reverse for the Buggle Driver, as, while you can use other Gashats with it, it's really just meant to be used with the included Dangerous Zombie Gashat, as that's what gives you the proper conjunction of lights and sounds, and gives you that little image of a shambling zombie. Or the shambling Genmu level 10, rather. And it is still cool that it adds a couple of new special attacks, but it is at the same time also limited, since you can only use just one Gashat with it at a time, and not all of them really work with it. And it's especially limited in how they decide to use the Sentai belt straps for this, which I think is probably the biggest flaw of the set, because while for other rider belts you could just buy a belt extender, for this one really the only way to wear it if you're an adult is to try to create some kind of makeshift extension, since there is no proper extension for the belts here. Now in terms of buying this, there are 2 ways to buy it that I can recommend depending on your situation. If you already have the Gashat Bug Visor, then I recommend this set, but if you don't yet have that, then I can recommend a separate set called the Henshin Belt Deluxe Buggle Driver, which is basically the Gashat Bug Visor and this set put together into one box. And honestly, I think it might actually be a bit better if you held off for the set, because that way you'll be getting all the functions of the Gashat Bug Visor all at once, plus the new Gashat. But whichever way you buy it, you're sure to be satisfied. So, next time I'll be opening a box of Appmon-Ship 2.0 packs. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and or comment, and subscribe to keep up with my latest videos. And for now, this is KRX50, Riding off.